Since we're about making you feel good all the time, we also enjoy celebrating you and stories that genuinely make you feel good. My guest this morning certainly does that. She's the founder of the Impilo Collection Foundation and the ambassador of Brand South Africa. Let's say welcome and good morning to you, Angela Yeung.
Thank you, Bar. Thank you for having me.
So did I finally get the surname right? Because I was tricking myself up with your surname.
Exactly.
So Angela Yeung is right?
Yes, absolutely.
Am I right in saying that you are the first South African woman to summit Mount Manaslu in the Himalayas?
Yes, it's a true summit because for the many years people were summiting the summit. They thought that's the true summit. When the drone came around and they realized that's not the real summit.
Incorrect one.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
Yes. So they found out the real summit, the true summit, and I'm the first person who reached that 6,183 meters.
That
height.
is absolutely amazing. Congratulations, firstly, are in order because it's an immense achievement. Now, the thing is, you are no stranger to this because this massive climb to the top of Mount Manaslu, I believe, is your fourth climb in total.
Absolutely.
Now tell me about it. How did you get into climbing and what made you decide, hey, I'm going to climb this mountain in the first place?
You know, I'm not a person a very physical person, but I think that the mountain just actually called me. And going back to 2017, that was the first time I actually met my biological mother after 30 years of constantly looking for her.
Wow.
Yeah. And 2018 and 2019, I was invited by Track for Mandela to climb Kilimanjaro for girls. They cannot afford sanitary pad. So some of the girls are missing 50 days of schools. And that's how I started climbing for caring for girls. And I also felt that was the right timing for me to give, because you can't give if you don't have. So, and then through that in 2020, during COVID, I just saw people are really suffering. Then I started a food drive just by calling out on social media, my friends and family. We collected 10 tons of food.
Wow. That's amazing.
It is.
And obviously you distributed it to
the orphanage, to OH home, to gender-based violence shelter. You know, from there, then I start getting to know where's the shelter, who are the victims, and then we actually seen some of the children sitting on the container and playing with 3 blocks of puzzle the whole day.
Wow.
So that was really something really heartbreaking.
It resonated with you, yeah.
Absolutely. And then later on that we received 1 ton of sanitary pad and we gave out to the HIV positive and disabled children. And when one of the girls actually come up to me and asked me, Angela, next time can you please bring us some bras? Because we're not wearing a bra, and you look around, you realize they're not wearing a bra. So what they told me, perpetrator think that is an invitation of sex. That's how gender-based violence started in the township and informal settlements. And we did a research and realized there was 2,700 women died during COVID for gender-based violence.
Sheesh.
And at the beginning, and I thought, okay, let me just collect 2,700 bras so we can commemorate those women.
Yeah.
And we actually came back with 6,200 bras, and we laid it out at the Constitutional Hill by the women's jail. It feels like there was 6,200 women standing right in front of you and telling you, stop this. And that's how I choose to climb Island Peak.
Right.
Last year for 6,200 meters.
What are the other 2 that you did?
I did Kilimanjaro twice.
Nice.
Yes.
So you touched on it now. Obviously, you're not just an ordinary person who wants to, tick off elements off a bucket list by climbing mountains. You've been climbing these mountains, these impossible summits, for a reason. You just touched on them there. Now, one of them, obviously, to highlight and combat gender-based violence. Can you expand on that a little bit more, and also tell us exactly what is that your organization has been doing for gender-based violence?
We're not just from gender-based violence. I think we call that campaign Empower Her, and later on we actually expand more from empower her to empower him, and to empower them. That is the most, right now, that's how we actually focusing on. It's more educational materials, like giving out books to some of the disadvantaged schools, and it's just expanding the ideas of not just giving a person a fish, but really just teaching them to fish.
Yeah.
That's most important to us. And we have people from all walks of life. We call them social warriors, and they just shut down their business and they take off work and just come and serve. And from the 6,200 bras that we collected, we washed them, packed them, labeled them. We gave out to 3,100 women in the country, and with dignity. You don't give out something just by giving it out, but we measure each one of them and making sure they know their sizes and educate them. And it's not just putting on a bra, but you teaching them health and what is the reason that they're putting on a bra. It's so important.
Now let's talk about your actual climb. How did you prepare for this? Take me through your routine before you even got on the plane to Nepal. What was going through your mind? How did you get yourself ready physically as well as mentally?
Yeah, absolutely. It's climbing a mountain is not a hike, so it's very dangerous, and self-disciplined, motivations, perseverance, all that. Just to prepare yourself in physically, mentally. You're getting involved with a lot of training. Like physically, I was running. I hate running. So I had to run, and I do some swimming and altitude training. So whenever I had a chance to go for a long hike, like you're talking about like 15 to 20 k's. So you go for a whole day of hiking, 12 hours, and like rock climbing, technical training from putting on a clamp on, how do you walk on ice, and how do you put on a rope, all those abseiling and belaying and all those body conditioning. It's a lot to do.
So did it adjust your schedule? Did you have to maybe wake up early in the morning?
Absolutely.
Like kind of the Rocky vibes, swallow a raw egg and that kind of thing. Was it like that?
Not the raw egg, but I mean, 5 o'clock in the morning, that's the time you start heating. You're getting up and you just go to the gym, and later on I went to work. I still go to work.
Wow.
And in the afternoon I was training again.
No.
Yeah. I was walking with a 10 kilos backpack on West Cliff stairs, up and down for hours.
Oh my word.
That's what we do.
Did you ever at any point think, this is exhausting?
Yeah, and you say to yourself, why are you torturing yourself?
Yeah.
Until you really have to be very clear of your why.
Yes.
I think that's the key to keep me going.
On that note, did you have to change your diet in any way?
Yes, I do. I weigh everything that I eat.
Yeah.
And just to make sure that I have enough nutrition. And always just watching and listening to my body. I think that is the biggest lessons the mountain has taught me.
So, what is the one thing that you can say is your guilty pleasure that you had to cut out during your preparation? I don't know, like chocolate, for example. But what was your thing that you had to give it up?
I think cakes.
Okay, cakes
would be something that I have to really give up. Not you have enough sugars, but not overloading yourself sugars.
Yeah. So just paint a picture for me. What would your day of meals look like?
I do early morning. I have a shake
Yeah.
with berries and good fruit, and later on, like 2 hours later, I have a protein bar.
Yeah.
Lunch, I weigh everything from specific meal that I have
Yeah.
with the nutritional.
Yeah.
And afternoon I do eat as well, so I eat constantly,
Okay.
but very small little portions.
Right.
Yes.
And was there a time, there was a cutoff, you say, all right, after this time, no eating?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
So what was the time?
I think when the time you sleep.
Okay, I love that. So you get there, you touch down in Nepal. Like, what was your first thoughts? How was the weather? What was the feeling like that first few hours when you arrived?
Kathmandu is very hot, so
Yeah.
it's just you feel like that place is buzzing, and it's very different to us here. And
Okay.
the wire, like the electric wire, is all over the show.
Okay.
And you'll see like a lot of scooters around the city. It's a very, very busy city. So going there, you feel like it's like all of a sudden, here we don't see a lot of people. You there, like every people were next to you. So it's a very different vibe. But the more higher you get, and the whole environment just changed. And the weather changed. It's getting much colder, and the higher you get, it's -30, not -40. So it's just a whole different ball game.
So when you eventually got to your starting point, was there ever a part of you that went, "Sheesh, what am I doing here?"
I think you ask yourself most of the time that questions.
Even on the climb?
When the harder days,
Yeah.
you ask yourself, oh my God, why am I torturing myself?
Talking about the climb specifically, physically, describe it for me. How taxing was it on your body? Like, how was the oxygen supply
Yes.
as you went further up on the mountain? Explain that for us.
The high altitude is a very big issues. So your body just react differently. So like I couldn't sleep much every night. So that's actually impact the recovery of my body. And also you become very slow, and you just every breath you take, it's become effort.
Wow.
And everything is slowed down, and you learn to really listen to your body, because the high altitude can actually kill you.
Yeah, I know there's many people that have attempted those climbs and have not been successful, and
Exactly.
either come back down or not come back down.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, obviously oxygen is a major thing for getting up there. But when you eventually got to the top, describe that feeling for us.
Yeah, it was just a very proud moment.
Yeah.
Very, very proud moment. And I think let's just going back to the base camp, before we started the climb, I went to 2 different schools and visit the local schools and gave them 40 kilos of clothing.
Oh, wow.
And we also pack them and label them and give it to them. And for me, I'm not there just to climb the mountains. And I want to show them we South African, we care and we're here to give as well.
That's important.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Before we climb. And I even asked the children, please pray for us, so we can get to the summit safely.
No, for sure.
Yes, so I think that's a connection with them. It's not just climbing the mountain. And later, when we get to the base camp, all my climbers also help me to lay out the bra. So we hang out the bra at the base camp. And people were saying, what is this about, you know? It was shocking for them to see the bra is actually hanging there.
Yeah.
And then like you start the conversations and that become a global awareness of this is what's happening in our country.
Yeah.
This is what I'm climbing for. And I'm climbing for humanity. And that was a voice, I think, for us, being a group in our tent, was actually quite proud.
Yeah.
And when we get to the summit, I just hold up the bra and I just wave at it. And I just felt like this is a moment as me, as South African, and to tell the world we are proud to be South African. We have problems, but we are here to overcome it. And I was wearing the suit of South African flag.
Yes.
And it was just, I was one of the most different. Like out of all the summer suit, you will see me from far away. And I felt that was a proud moment to be a South African.
No, for sure. You've certainly waved the flag and done it proud.
Yeah.
How many days did it take in total?
25 days.
25 days.
Yes.
Sheesh.
Yes.
Yeah, it's no mean feat what you've done. I mean, that is just, it's incredible. Back to your organization. Now, I know that you've just completed the climb, but how can somebody that's listening in or watching this, how can we contribute to what you and the organization are doing in terms of contributing towards ending gender-based violence for one, and also supporting your other causes?
Yes, I think one, for the corporate, we really want to shout out and ask if the corporate can help us to collect more bras. And if anybody have a chain store, we can put our basket there and just to collect more bras, because our aim is to collect 8,848 bras. That's the height of Mount Everest. And right now we only have 1,500 bras, so we really need help with the collections. But if any individual that would like to contribute to our collection, so they can click on to our website. It's www.impilo, IMPILO foundation.org. It's ORGO.
Yeah.
And anybody can just drop off if they have any left and new bras. They can always drop off anytime if around the country. And also, if they would like to do a donations, that also can go onto our website as well.
Okay. All right, cool. And where can we follow you for more of your escapades?
Yes, my Instagram is Impilo, IMPILO. That means live in Zulu. All
right, lovely. All right, well, Angela, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute privilege to have you here. We are so chuffed that you've done this summit at Mount Manaslu, the first South African woman to do so. I mean, it's amazing. Also, the causes that you're doing it for is incredible. I hope that you get the support that you need also from corporate companies and people alike. And let's hope to chat to you soon about expanding and going into bigger and better things.
Yes, thank you. Thanks, Baron.